Well, I'm getting nudged here, you know, how that goes. And I'm being told to explain one of the underlying symbolisms there. For the smokestacks that go to outer space, for the trash that I was talking about. Well, what that really is and what God was talking about, and the cosmic connection that I have, who doesn't like these transhumanists who are spreading fake news and deceiving the masses so that they can give us slavery shots, is what they are. These vaccines, they turn you into slaves because they have transhumanist technology in them. And what it is these transhumanists in the media are already transhumanist, and they want to. It's like assimilating to the Borg in Star Trek, and I've covered all that. Basically, they want to assimilate everybody to the Borg. And you see, God doesn't want everybody to be assimilated to this Borg. So the underlying message there about burning the trash in the smokestacks going to outer space is literally is what we're going to do. It's an offering to God, right? So God's mad at us, and if we don't do something to make him happy, and he's going to destroy the whole planet because mankind let him down by being deceived to the point to where we aren't even mankind anymore. We've turned into transhumanist trash, right? Some of us aren't. Some of us were infiltrators that infiltrated the transhumanist community so that we could understand their operating system and destroy them. And after we're done with this Operation Rectum, what's going to happen is we're going to build the smokestack as an offering to God so that he is happy with the holy people who carried out the mission, which is to murder all of these transhumanist trash in the media and everything like that. Of course, this will be a big military operation, so don't red flag me here. And I'm speaking on behalf of God. So God he finally called Satan and said, "Hey, Satan, you need to take care of this because they're altering the blocks of life to an extent to where our system that we set up isn't really in play anymore, right? Because they're mind controlling people to commit crimes and things like that, which means they own your soul using this electromagnetic technology, and where your clones up in the cloud driving a meat suit down on the ground. Basically, you got to stop and think, America. Look at your cell phone, okay? Look at your cell phone. That cell phone is magically communicating with another cell phone every time you post something on Facebook, right? If you do not believe that the technology exists to turn our brains into cell phones, you are all naive. Anybody that doesn't believe that's possible. And I'm telling you, I know for a fact these mind hives exist because they assimilated me to their Borg, but I uploaded so much malware once they sucked me in that they had to boot me out of it because I was trying to murder them with all this poison that I have. And I actually, before I got out, I planted a nuclear bomb inside of your Borg. We're just waiting for that to go off. But once the bodies all hit the floor, what we're going to do is build this smokestack as an offering to God. And that was the underlying symbolism. And we're going to put your bodies in there. And what God's going to be up there, he's going to be up there in the heavens like, oh, yeah. Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, I'm so glad you got all these transhumanist trash out of there. Oh, yeah. Just burn them up to me, right? So that was kind of the game plan. It's the Operation Fourth Beast in the Bible, and then you have Little Horn down in Texas. So God's really mad at mankind right now because basically we've turned the image of God into something that's outside the parameters of the system that he set up, where you have your test. There's a human supposed to be tested while they're down here on this planet, right? So if you're born a robot, like Lockheed Martin turned everybody into that's in government, so they've been doing this since the 60s, right? So they turned everybody into robots, and the media. The media is, they think they're government, but they're about to find out that special forces, after they murder all of them, they're not government. They just think they are, and they were allowed to get away with that long enough for the big magic suction basket to separate all these people like the fourth beast does. Watch that Domino's video. And then once they're divvied up, all of the transhumanist trash will be burned up into space so that God can waft that trash into his, oh, thank you, like that. So that's basically what the smokestack to outer space was. And it's the media. It's a lot of these intel communities. I mean, I don't hate y'all because I don't think you're human. I mean, you can't hate a computer. Anybody that hates a computer is an idiot, right? I mean, why are you going to get mad at somebody that's not even human, right? It's like the zombie movies. You know why zombie movies are PG-13? Even though you're blowing zombies' brains out, right? I mean, you got to think about it. Why do they make those movies PG-13 to where kids can watch them? Because they're not human. And so the kid is being programmed. And see, this is predictive programming, and nobody really caught on to this. And the military let this happen because they knew this was going to come. What they wanted to do was indoctrinate the children that when the time came that these people were transhumanist, that they wouldn't feel guilty about murdering them, media. Because, see, you are the enemy, media. Because you spread the lies and the deception. And you allowed yourselves to become these absolute evil entities that manipulate mankind to your will, and you think you're so powerful now because of technology's giving you the ability to govern, even though you don't have the authority to govern, right? You're not elected officials and things like that. See, they're trying to do away with elected officials and allow the system to control everything. But what's going to happen, and the reason that the zombie movies were PG-13s, because they wanted the kids, when the time came and they found out that you're robots, and they don't want people to consider you human, because you can't murder a robot, right? Basically, if my neighbor has a robot and I kill that robot, well, whatever that robot cost, I have to pay the owner. It's slavery. You're not. It's not even slavery because you're not even human, media. You're just transhumanist trash. And God wants you to be put into an incinerator and burned up to the heavens so that he can be like, oh, it's kind of like emergency 911, ET phone home. That's what all of that was about, media. And you were the twin towers, and the seven dwarves are the seven computers that control the media and the politicians and everything like that. So the smokestack is the people that are transhumanist trash. After they're dead, we're going to put them into the incinerator as an offering to God, right? You see what I'm saying, media? That's just a signal that's coming from the cosmos right now, and I really have to tell y'all what all of this was about. And what the zombie movies are, they're not considered R-rated because they didn't want the children, E.T. didn't want the children to feel like they were killing humans, because it's not murder when you kill a robot. You see what I'm saying? So that was the underlying symbolism to all of that. Even it's kind of like, why do zombies eat the brains of humans? Because they don't have brains, right? And it's all these years and everything's gone into this to teach y'all how you're going to die, and we're going to offer you up to the heavens as an offering to God after we've murdered all of you because you're terrorists. I mean, basically the media in the World Health Organization are Nazi terrorists, and Lockheed Martin drives all of them, and they're going to go down with them too. And really the first people that are going to be burned up in the incinerator and offered to God are going to be the people that turned or were involved in these schemes to turn these babies into terrorists in the first place, right? So the people that have their fingers on the button of on the buttons, anybody that's involved, I mean, you got big tech can do it. Google can hack people's minds. Anybody with quantum AI can hack people's minds, okay? And anybody that has access to our infrastructure as far as 5G and things like that, anybody, Fusion GPS, Lockheed Martin made all of the satellites that are in outer space, okay? See, Lockheed Martin's pretty much the biggest snake that there is, right? And I'm Marcellus from the future, right, who came up with that patent and everything, and I'm sabotaging my own entity from the future because they screwed things up so bad that it ended up as a nuclear holocaust. But see, E.T. seen all of that coming, stepped in, dropped God's army down here so that I could explain to you all of this symbolism and the fact that the media and anybody else, not all these transhumanists are trash, some of them are still good people, but the people that just took it upon themselves to make the decision that, like World Health Organization and whoever's involved in that, these Nazis like Bill Gates and stuff, whoever took it upon themselves to hack our minds without our knowledge or consent, they're going to be the ones that are offered up to God in the incinerator. And as far as the mark of the beast, which is what this is, see, that was the emergency. You're supposed to dupe people into taking the mark of the beast. This technology can hack your DNA, okay? It's electromagnetic technology. And you're not duping anybody because you're hacking into them without their knowledge, consent, and you didn't dupe them. That's an emergency. So that is altering the blocks of life. In Pinky and the Brain, they woke up the mummy to kick the snakes out of the pyramid. Woe to those who alter the blocks of life. You can do your evil snake shit, that's fine, but you've got to dupe the people, right? But biblically, you can't just do it without their knowledge. So any of these companies like Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, in the MIC, Big Tech, any of these other countries that are hacking people's minds without their knowledge or consent, I don't care who you are, unless E.T. used you to help make the case here. And I think DARPA possibly could get a pass. We'll see. Because E.T.'s been with me my whole life, and when I joined the Army, it was by design to hack DARPA's system when they implemented the Skynet so that I could make sure that all of these people around the world understood what was going on and how God's law had been violated, right? And that's why anybody that's involved in this and is keeping this a secret, Illuminati, and it's not everybody in the Illuminati. There's some people in the Illuminati that are working to destroy these systems that are hacking our mind without our knowledge or consent. Those people will get a pass whether they're transhumanist or not, right? But in the end, the people that took it upon themselves to enslave us without our knowledge or consent using this highly sophisticated technology that E.T. gave us, those are the people that are going to be purged, thrown into the incinerator after we build the smokestack to God so that he can waft in the fact that otherwise we all die, right? So the media is going to die, right? Certain factions of the military are going to die, okay? The intel agencies are going to die. All right, y'all are guilty, okay? Y'all have allowed this to happen. You've kept it covered up. The FBI's dead. Crime syndicate media. According to the X-Files, y'all are very involved in driving the media, okay? And all this water in the movies and everything's absolutely accurate. That's the Illuminati system, and that's how they talk to each other, right? While they spread nothing but lies and deception to the sheep, right, in the media, the media spreads. So they tell you lies in the media, but anybody around the world that understands what to look for is it's in the movie, especially Warner Brothers, okay? They're warning you of things. Anytime you watch a Warner Brothers movie, you're watching factual stuff. I mean, that is the news, okay? That's actual, accurate news, most of them. Some of them or a little bit of a misdirection here and there. However, the idea of this video was to let you know what that symbolism about those smokestacks is it's the transhumanist trash that's going to be thrown into the incinerator and burned into the cosmos for an offering to God by the holy people, okay? Because y'all aren't human, you're trash. Well, I'm out here spreading some mulch around the trees. It just occurred to me after making that last video that I needed to point out that these babies who weren't duped because the government duped, in the World Health Organization, the Nazis duped the parents into giving these babies these shots. So they're not necessarily considered marked, right? Because they weren't duped. The people that are the most marked are people who were duping, like the media and the government, who were taking it upon themselves to convince these parents to throw their kids in the pool by giving them this Nazi technology when they were born, slavery shots, vaccines, things of that nature. Those are the super marks, right? Those are the people that are going to die in excruciating pain and be tortured to death, like they tortured me because I pointed out that the flu shot had mercury in it and they were targeting the Bible Belt, and put that on Facebook. That'll get you tortured in America because they don't want anybody to know that, right? So I know that, and I'm just spreading that around. So when they added me to their pool, which was the Magic Suction Basket by ET, who's been here my whole life, right? Buck and Adeline technology. I got out there in the field, and I wasn't vaccinated, by the way. Now, when I got into the Army, they gave me a shot of whatever it was, or attached me to, and I was 17 when I joined the Army, so I still wasn't an adult. But that was the emergency on 9/11 because I was a messenger. So I'm still a messenger. So basically, what we need to do is build this smokestack to outer space and throw all this transhumanist trash in there as an offering to God, or He's going to kill everybody on the planet. It's kind of what I'm getting at. Basically, it's Silence of the Lambs right now. All my indicators from the media, the politicians, the entire fucking everybody that's here with their illegal technology, because they just realized, because this is the Space Needle, okay? And they put all their stock. Remember the Domino's video? So these people put all their stock into power, right? This power that came down from the heavens, and this technology that was given to everybody, this electromagnetic technology that can hack your DNA and actually give you an illness, okay? It can. All right. A lot of these flu symptoms and things of that nature that you're seeing in China and different things like that, it's like a horse and carriage, okay? The virus is already in everybody, but the electromagnetic technology that can hack your DNA can activate the virus, right? So they needed the space sheriff to explain to them, because, see, they spin all of this. They're in their Illuminati way because they think they're the high and mighty, but they didn't realize that the entire time they were being duped, right? So all of these people that were involved in pumping all this poison into everybody knowingly, so that they could turn the entire world into a slave plantation. I call them slavery shots. It's kind of like, you know how fake news caught on? This isn't fake news. This is alternative facts. That caught on too, right, media? So those little Trump phrases and things like that always catch on. I think anybody that wants to spell out what vaccines are should stop calling them vaccines and call them slavery shots, because that's what they did. And where they messed up was they started giving the mark of the beast to babies, right? You see how you're not duping a baby? A baby's just born. A baby doesn't have a decision, doesn't even know that it's getting a shot. But these people that called the shots gave the baby the shot, right? Because they did dupe the parents into giving the baby the shot, right? Because those parents were babies at one point and had this technology put in them that can control your mind. So basically, this is like beyond a satanic system, okay? It's an artificially intelligent driven freaking demonic system that Satan doesn't even like, because babies are born without souls, right? You can't steal a soul from somebody that doesn't have one from birth, media, which is all of you, by the way. The best thing that could happen to you, media, is they find where these systems are operating out of and take them out, so that you can go back and learn how to tie your shoes all over again, right? I mean, that's once they shut this system down, that's driving all of y'all, you're going to be completely retarded, right? There, media, okay? And in government, and many of you who took it upon, and it's the system that's doing it. I say don't hate the player, hate the game, but I'll also say that killing a zombie isn't murder, okay? Because if I kill a robot, then it's not murder. I just killed a robot, right? You see how that works? So you're all robots, is what it is, right? I'm a human with cosmic technology that was sent here to tell you that putting this technology in people and controlling their minds without their knowledge or consent is, and you're not even duping them, was the emergency on 9/11, right? So anybody that's involved in that and help spread the deception are the ones who are going to be put into the incinerator, and their smoke's going to go up as an offering to God after we build the smokestack to space, right? See how that works?